So I wanted to change up my channel a little bit from what I normally do, which is like usually reviews and travel uh, and art. And this time I want to talk more about mental health. For me, I've had to deal with the mental health industry for about 7 or 8 years straight because I have DID, which is multiple personality disorder. And so I've been to mental hospitals, I've been to outpatient therapies, I've had several different therapists over the years, I've had several different psychiatrists. I had to do a lot of my own research because they would not diagnose me with it for a long time because it's a very rare disorder, and it took many years just to even find out that's what I had. And so I feel that I'm pretty informed and knowledgeable on this subject, and I figured that for this one, I'll talk about what it's like to go to a mental hospital and just kind of some ideas to get you a little prepared if you think you need to go, or let you know what it's like in there. Uh, so my first thing would be choosing how you want to go into the hospital. The best route is to just straight call the hospital and go there. And then they'll do an intake where they ask you a bunch of questions, and then they'll see if they'll admit you into the hospital. Um, that one's the best route because it's a lot easiest and less stressful. Whereas the other way is just straight calling 911. Now, that, of course, is there for an emergency. If you feel that you're very suicidal right at that moment, call 911. If you are on drugs or something like that, you need to call 911, because then what they do is instead they will take you to to an actual hospital first. And that's where they'll test you, they'll see what you need, see if you need anything, and then eventually they'll get you to the mental hospital. But that's definitely the route you want to go if you by chance have drugs in your system or something that's making you feel this way. Um, then whenever you get into the mental hospital, they'll do the intake, they ask you a bunch of questions, and if you get admitted, then they'll take you back to a room where you have to show them all your stuff, or what is the word? You have to give them basically all your stuff. And the only things that you're really allowed to take into a mental hospital are softcover books and softcover notebooks, clothes that have nothing stringy. Like you can't have like a tank top with a string, a shirt that has, like, if you have a hoodie and it has those strings that come out of it, they'll make you rip those out. They take your shoelaces, and you can't wear anything that's at all revealing or anything, like shorts and stuff like that. I'm sure that depends on the hospital and how strict their rules are. Um, but yeah, so you go in there, they'll take all your stuff, they'll take your cell phone, so you have to get all your numbers that you want before you get checked in. That way you can call them from the hospital phone. And let's see, so yeah, they basically take everything from you so that you go in there with nothing. You just have your clothes that are safe for you to wear. And if you don't have anything safe for you to wear, they have gowns and stuff like that. A typical stay is 72 hours. That's like a normal 72-hour hold. That's usually just for like suicide watch and stuff like that. And they'll ask you questions every single day to see how you're feeling and where you're sitting at getting out of the hospital. They really don't want to keep you in there very long unless you have a very like severe condition like a schizophrenia, or like with me with DID, sometimes they keep me in there for a week. But really a week is like the max unless you're totally out of it. And if you're totally out of it, you're probably not even watching this video, so it doesn't matter. But in the hospital, everything is made where there's no way that you can hurt yourself with anything. Like, there's not even like a bar railing to like by the toilet. It actually has a cover on it so you can't loop anything through it. Every single thing is like mounted, like even the doorknobs have like a slant to them so that you can't hang anything on it, and it'll just slide right off. Uh, it's usually pretty boring there. Most mental hospitals don't have any kind of therapy or anything. The last time I went, they had shut down the therapy division of the mental hospital. I usually go to Seven Hills, and they shut down the therapy division of it, and they were making the nurses do the therapy, which was an absolute joke. And even the nurses would tell us, they'd be like, "We don't know what we're doing. They just gave us the stuff and told us we have to start doing it with you." So, like, one therapy session was this dude just basically put he asked people what song they wanted to listen to, and then he would just play that while he handed out a sheet that said, "What makes you angry?" Like, there was no therapy to it, there was no solutions. It was just, they really don't know what they're doing, and that's how a lot of hospitals are. And that's one reason why our mental health in this country is so down in the tanks, is because we do not actually have the systems put in order to heal these people. It's just basically get them in there, make them so they're not a problem for society, and then as soon as they're seem okay enough, kick them right back out again. That's basically all a mental hospital's goal is. The only way you're going to get treatment is by doing like outpatient treatment. For me, I'll explain the treatment I went through, which was like, depending on how severe your condition is, I think one time it lasted me like 3 months. And what it is every day, Monday through Friday, the bus would come pick me up at like 9 and drop me off at 3. And so I would have therapy all day long through that. That is really good. I suggest that if you're just seeking, like, if you don't really know where to get started and you just know that you're having trouble, and you don't know about getting therapists and stuff like that, I would highly suggest doing an outpatient therapy at a hospital, because that will kind of cue you into what's really going on with you, whether it just be like depression and anxiety, or if you might have something more serious going on, like a personality disorder or something like that. It'll kind of get you a hint on what you need, because once you find out what exactly you have, then you can find a therapist outside of that works specifically with that condition. And that's really what you need to do, because I did therapy for many, many years with just basic therapists. And I didn't really get anywhere until I found a therapist that was specifically for DID, or what they call it, what therapists call the therapy treatment is internal family systems. So if you have DID and you're trying to seek a therapist, find someone that does internal family systems. And what that means is that in your head, you have all these people. Well, they're all a family. So we're an internal family, and we learn how to work together. And it's kind of on this concept that everybody has parts to themselves, but with DID, we actually have split off and sectioned those parts into whole other people. But that is the only way I was able to find a good therapist for DID. And yeah, I think that's about all I can really give right now. Just about some basics on going to a hospital if you need to. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments or anything like that. If you're having any trouble or you have DID, please reach out to me. I would really love to talk to some other people and, get to understand this disorder more, meet more people with this disorder. And yeah, I think it would be very interesting, and I think very helpful for everybody to get to find different strategies on how to help with their mental health. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.